have got an extremely talented artist in studio. First of all, his outfit, I could say a lot about it. So make sure you're keeping up with us on our social media handles at Roll FM 94.3 and Roll FM Rwanda to see what I'm talking about. For now, I'm not even going to tell you who it is. I want to play a song called Lela. And as soon as it finishes playing, you will know who exactly sang that song, which artist is in studio right about now. I like to give you a surprise. You know what I'm talking about? We're still on the party before the actual party vibes. It's still a Friday pregame. But you know what? You have to listen to this banger. In case you haven't heard it, I know I've played it before, but I feel like I need to play it again. So let's go. We got the one and only Muti Musa in studio, formerly known as Motivation. Am I right or am I right?
Yeah, you know what it is, my people. It's your boy Muti Musa, aka Mr. Motivation.
Ooh.
Activations for the nation, here to give you them light codes and electrifications. You may have seen me on the many stages, creating the movements, getting the vibration going. We just come back from Ngashi in Gisenyi, running our own festival there, bringing the artists from UG and Rwanda to create that cross-cultural exchange. And we back in the city, ready to promote the brand new single and some exclusive announcements for you all. So stay.
I love it. You know, one thing about Muti, he's very smooth. He just knows what to say, how to say. See the tone, he changes it and everything. First of all, welcome to the Friday pregame. How you doing? How you feeling?
Thank you so much. It feels good to be invited back in this new year. You look incredible.
Thank you.
Never disappoint. So you know I had to come fresh myself.
You know what? You are giving me a run for my money because tell me about this outfit. It looks really good, by the way.
So yeah, with every new anthem I bring into the world, for me it's a reclamation, it's an activation, for the nation. You know what it is. And a designer outfit that for me personifies the essence of what the song's about. So the single that I'm dropping and that is exclusively going to be heard today, Can't Touch My Fire, is represented in the clothing based on like this almost a fire flower, you know, timing as well, like fire and ash, avatar, all of these things, like there's a fire flower, but the geometric pattern in the background almost looks like the space for it to bloom, right? So the outfit as well, kimono, tailored trousers, on point. Big up my tailor and Kimihurura. You know what it is, we keeping it locked in.
I love it. How important is it for an artist to have their own identity? Because I feel like you have your own thing going on.
Thank you.
I see something, I'm like, that's giving Muti Musa for me. How important is it for that, for an artist to have that?
So for me, fashion is a personification of my essence. You need to feel me before you even actually get to speak to me. And the way people perceive me, they see the fit. They see the way the clothes move and what motion is elaborated by what clothes I'm wearing. Whether I'm wearing tight fit or baggy fit, or something that's way more giving motion to my clothing, they're going to see my motion and my movement in the space first. And that is the clothes that accentuate that within my being.
Yeah.
Of course, like before coming back to Kigali, I was movement directing in London. We worked with a lot of upcoming designers, and I've been able to work with like Vogue Italia, Vogue India. British Vogue wrote about us as the heroes of Fashion Week because we brought male vulnerability onto the catwalk, and they'd never seen contemporary dance choreographed with men and the clothes be accentuated. Big up to my boy Saul Nash. Now he's got a Nike collab deal with Lululemon and all of this stuff, and he's been able to do it. But it reminded me at the beginning, the clothes should grant motion and more freedom to our bodies to be expressed. And I've carried that with me my whole time. And obviously with my Afrofuturistic touch, I always bring something that feels like, a bit of the ancient of how it feels, but also contemporary and futuristic.
All right. How would you say your music journey has been as someone who's doing something than the mainstream, type of vibe in Rwanda? How has that gone for you?
So that's actually a seriously good question, actually. I tell you, I feel like, okay, so for me, we go through iterations as artists. We go through evolutions. So the Muti Musa you met last year is not the same Muti Musa you met in 2026. We coming through, we taking it to another esteem, another level, and we have to be able to be ready to step into that timeline of ourselves. So people may have known me in my earlier music journey, and I had a band called Muti in the Solar Plexus. So I had a whole funk band, you know. And when I first came to Kigali, I headlined a sofa show at Lemon, and people were so blown away by seeing an artist coming from here, but also having that global touch. And I realized that there was some of that music that existed within that time. But now stepping back into East Africa, there's a whole new range of music that I was able to discover. And that's why I became Muti Musa now, because I'm basing myself as the root of, you know, becoming East Africa's finest. That's what they call me now, East Africa's finest. And now all the music is like, you know, we've been exploring the Amapiano, you know, which is the new single. It's an Amapiano track, which I made in Burundi with I Logos from Kenya, who's the top producer there. And then my first single I dropped to AOU, All of You, was with Ruko, also formerly known as A Light, which is Afro House, you know? And that Afro House is really driving that like ancestral pulse, but with a way in which the storytelling and the lyricism, at the heart of it always, I've been an incredible songwriter. I've been a poet and a songwriter.
Yeah.
But then creating the different genres, they create this kind of momentum in which now the storytelling can be on like this like surfboard, and people can catch the wave of what it feels like in their body and what reclamation and liberation that music brings to them.
So you mentioned AOU, and we're just about to listen to AOU. I believe we've played it before on the show, haven't we?
Yeah, we did that.
I do love the fact that what you do is very different. If you're tuned into the show right now and you're thinking, okay, Daria, what's going on? Well, it's Muti Musa in studio right about now. And what you're about to listen to is AOU. And do not forget, he's right here. He is going to be telling us about the song that he just released that's going to be exclusively playing on Royal FM. And this you know, there's a good deal he's trying to give you something very special to the fans. So you want to stick right here to find out what that is, because it will have you smiling, it will have you happy. Apart from enjoying the music, you will definitely enjoy that prize. For now, AOU by the one and only Muti Musa in studio, playing on 94.3. This is Royal FM. You by the one and only Muti Musa in studio right about now. And all I'm saying is that I love that song. I love the vibes. It just makes me feel like I need to be in a happy place. Tell me about what goes on in your mind when it comes to writing your songs.
So I guess for the inspiration for that song, AOU, and the recent inspiration for my music has been the story of a child coming home. A child from the diaspora, where my parents, 2 generations back, were living completely different standards of life. And I'm sure a lot of people can relate across the world. And the sacrifices that my parents made to be able to give me the opportunities to live in a different environment. But through the course of your life, you know, we feel that echo and that remembrance inside of ourselves. And until we take that moment to come back to our ancestral home and to really drop deeper into the landscape and how rich it is, we realize how much actually we've missed, and how much a lot of Africans perceive the West, you know, and see that this is the place where you can have that sense of freedom, because we're all looking for freedom. But I tell you, I've never felt more confined at the height of my success in the UK before having to come back and realizing my mental health, my challenges, and I had to come back to Africa to really discover the roots of who I am and my being. And so this song is a testimony to that, to recognize that all of you is welcome here, back in the continent, back in East Africa, in the heart of Africa, in a way that you will discover everything that you thought you ever lost. And when you come back here, you realize that all of the pieces have always been there, and it's just about stringing them together and making this beautiful tapestry so that you can see your future clearly, not through the colonial Western gaze of Africans, but actually from the true power, the raw creativity and resilience that we have innate in us. So this song is a celebration of that message. It's a celebration of that story and that homecoming.
So you mentioned about, you know, coming home, but you've mentioned about being in the UK, and I know that you've been traveling around the world. You've been doing so much. What have you been up to in the UK and East Africa? What have you been doing? And does that add up to what you've planned to put out for your fans in 2026?
Oh, there you go. I appreciate that. Yeah, so, you know, me, Muti, you know, Muti meaning the medicine and Musafiri meaning the traveler. It's innate for me to be moving to different parts of the world. And when I came back to the UK after literally flying from Kigali, and like I remember I flew to Ethiopia, and I just finished my podcast Afrosynthesis. Check that out, Beyond the Genocide, rewriting the story from our narrative, with guests like Bukuru, Ivan King, the head of Sync, Dice Kid, Lidvin, Olympic swimmer, DJ Lampo for Atmosphere, talking about how we can reclaim our own narrative of how we want our country to be seen, especially in that challenging time where like, there was a lot of propaganda going on against us. So we took the narrative back.
Yes.
I ended up flying back to Ethiopia, and I literally like took on the craziest challenge. I was like, look, I've got to stop off here. I've got a show in London for the Burundi Independence Day, and like I had to literally fly to Ethiopia, and and shoot 3 music videos for my upcoming EP in like 4 days. So I had 4 days, and I was like, can I shoot this upcoming song with Mashallah Boy? Can I shoot the single for my upcoming EP Visa, Power Back? Can I shoot Somebody in 4 days? And somehow the resilience, the creative spirit, like I was able to push through with the label that I work with there, Banner Records, big up Banner, and we were able to push through and just shoot that. And I realized in that moment, like sky's the limit. Like this is our time, this is our generation's time. So when I came back to the UK, I ended up like connecting again with the Pan-Africanists there, and who was really ready to change that narrative. And then I ended up producing probably one of the most groundbreaking works I've ever been involved in, producing a documentary in Botswana and Zimbabwe called,
I saw you.
Yo, that one was so deep, called The Return, talking about the diaspora and global people of the world who want to return back to Africa but don't know the access point, and when they come back to Africa, what they experience on the motherland.
Yes.
Like the realness of the connectivity to their humanity, their Ubuntu, you know, and the Ubuntu, you know. So when they have the experience, there's some sort of remembrance where we recognize that actually Africans, we are the original blueprint. We are the first humans who walked on that red soil. So we took ourselves to the cradle of civilization when we took it back to the beginning, because actually Africa's history is everyone's history. Before colonial times, it's everyone's history. So we are just coming here as the artists to shine a light in that space where people can remember the power that exists in their history, you know, and the history not taught to us by the West, but the history that has been passed down to us by the dialogue, by the archive. That's why I made a living archive of Afrosynthesis, because I realized that through the dialogue, that is where we're passing down some of the deepest memories of our ancestral ways. So that The Return is just another creative brainchild. Big up award-winning director Nuwakai Aru, and also our DOP Benji Mitchell. We were able to come together and really create something so unique, and it's in post-production at the moment. We've got such incredible hopes.
So it's not yet out.
Oh, no. Documentaries take time, for real.
Good things take time, you know
what I'm saying? Good things take time.
But you know, you mentioned that, and I remembered how, you know, when iShow Speed was here and there were Americans talking about, oh my gosh, I didn't know Africa actually had buildings. I thought they all lived in mud houses. It's crazy. I didn't know there was electricity in Africa. And it's just crazy to, you know, in this day and age that people still...
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is like, that's how they've been force-fed. That's the propaganda that's disempowered the black identity and the melanated identity of the African. But people who are real Pan-Africans, people who've done the research, they know that we have such incredible technology that was able to establish the pyramids, that was establishing civilization, mathematics, all of these forms that are foundational to the world, but they tried to make us forget that. So in this time, it's like, this is the time to share that with the people, and visual storytelling for me is one of my favorite mediums to do that. And like, big up to iShow Speed. Big up yourself, iShow Speed. Trust me there.
You had to do that.
Had to do that because at 20 years old, for you to be able to have the initiative to go to the continent and to be so well received with the level of hospitality that a lot of people were talking online like, yo, he experienced mad racism when he was going through Europe.
Exactly.
And you know what I'm saying? And then when he came to Africa, it was like a child coming home, and he was having some deep. You saw his personality like soften in who he thought he was to actually being like, I have so much to learn and so much to grow through. And the way he was warmly received and the way he took to traditional experiences, I'm just proud of him. I'm so proud of him, and I'm looking forward to when he comes back again and we can show him more of our country and we can do more work with him. Shout out Shaka Bars, shout out director Daps who did his promo. Like, these are big bros of mine, and I know that they're all here pushing the vision of the new identity of Africa. So we're part of that you know, that wave, that new wave that's emerging, and it's important for all of us to heed that responsibility in our generation, because that's like, yo, the future is Africa.
The future is, I keep saying that. I really keep saying that. And even when it comes to the music, I say East Africa to the world. We are literally going to be on the map very soon. And speaking of which, you are about to release, well, you've already released a song, and I want to talk about the song. Can't touch. Can't touch.
Can't touch my fire.
Can't touch my fire in brackets. Tell me about this. I hear there's a challenge. I hear there's a cash prize. Where the money at, Muti? It's January. We need the money right now.
Let's get it. All right, so you know what it is. You know, it's your boy Muti Musa, and we hear Can't Touch My Fire. For me, it's like, this message is like, all of you was welcome here, was like, everyone, you're welcome here. But Can't Touch My Fire is like, yo, the energy that we possess and what we create in the world is one of one. It's unique. You know what I'm saying? They can't replicate that. Even if they trying to extort that, they try and do any sort of twisty things, but in the end, they can't touch our divinity. They can't touch our God-given gifts that we have come from and that we have got inside of us to light up this world. So the song Can't Touch, for me, is another moment to channel like that reclamation and celebration in the body. So how better way to do that than to actually bring a dance challenge? Because dance was one of my first mediums that I really began to like dive into, and I love being able to activate all the dance floors. If anyone knows me, when I'm emceeing, I'm activating the dance floor and getting people into the groove. So Can't Touch is that opportunity to really like really embody the message of it. Can't touch. This be the style they can't touch. You know, this be the style that they can't touch. And it's like, there's so many people looking at the West being like, right, what's the style? How do we do? But actually, if you come here, bro, it's way more fashionable in East Africa than it is anywhere in the European sides. Because we're just way more creative and resourceful, right? So Can't Touch is a moment to do that. So Can't Touch, I collaborated with Ibrahim Zeti of Z Dance Studio. For me, one of the most pioneering dance artists and choreographers in this country who deserves his flowers. He runs a studio in Nyamirambo, one of the only dance studios. He's been raising up generations of kids who have never ever even seen themselves making art as a way of living, and he's created a whole industry of new dancers who are basically in all the music videos and all of the backup dancers. So for me, I wanted to work with him to launch this challenge to make sure that the right attention is going to Nyamirambo as the ends, like, you know, and Z Dance Studio and what he does. And we've launched the challenge, and there's Burundian dancers involved, there's Tanzanians, like there's Rwandans, like a whole generation of them coming through, and then Kenyans. And this choreography, yo, you know, I'm Rwandan, Burundian, I'm South Korean, and for me it's like, yo, we see K-pop and we see what they're doing, and we see how like, yo, how much you can be obsessed with it, yeah. So I've put out a vibe right now that I want people to get obsessed with, feeling the realness of tapping into that choreography and tapping into the energy of that song. Because even a part of it's like, the roof is on fire. We don't need no water, let the blood clot burn. So this is like, it's like, bro, we so hot, and we so hot, don't put a cap on us. No cap, bro. No cap. Lock in, no cap.
There's no limit to it.
There's no limit. So we getting limitless. We're remembering our power, and Can't Touch is another anthem for that, for the people. So yo, check it. All the dancers far and wide, anyone under the sound of my voice, let it be known. Can't Touch Dance Challenge is out.
What's the cash prize? What's the cash prize?
The cash prize for the best and most creative video when delivering the choreography. Rep your city, rep your town, wherever you from. Can't touch dance challenge. Yeah, the winner will be announced at the end of the month.
End of January,
and the winner is gonna get, drum roll please, I'm giving away $100 to the best and most creative dance artist who is actually bringing in some sort of innovation when they embody this and really getting the anthem of the song. If you can personify this, but me, I will send you in Pesa, Momo, I will send you where we meet, I will send
it is,
you
even if you want cash.
If you want the cash, we will give you the cash. $100 to invest.
Like that,
You know what I'm saying? And what I want it to be like is the $100 should be an investment in your artistry. Yeah, instead of this whole like I'm gonna play social media or some AI tool. No, I want to invest in the people who came with the vibration, who get the vibe of the song, who are elevating it and celebrating it. And for that, I want to invest in you, the people who have taken it to the highest height. Yo, we're gonna pick that. Me and Zeti, Ibrahim, we're gonna pick the winners at the end of the month. We're gonna celebrate you. You can tag me on TikTok. You can tag me on Instagram. Hashtag can't touch dance challenge. You can tag me on Instagram at motivation_. You can tag me on TikTok at Muti Musa_. We're gonna have the performance video that we're doing in next week that we're filming in Nyamirambo with someone like about 10-15 dancers, and we're gonna make it so lit because we don't have performance videos anymore. And I want people to feel this song not just for the song but actually for the dance as well. The dance marries the song. So if you're in the club, you see people kicking it. If you got a DJ, I want you guys to rock it and get it on your playlist. All the dancers, you're gonna see it blow up TikTok, blow up Instagram. It's $100 for the highest height, for the deepest vibe. You know what I'm saying? So get with it. Can't Touch My Fire, out now on Spotify at Muti Musa. You know what it is.
That's what I love to hear. We're about to listen to the song Can't Touch, so that you can, feel the vibe for the challenge. Make sure you check out that song. $100 is some good money if you ask me. If I could dance, I would try out, but that's a story for another day. Thank you so much for coming through, Muti. It's always a vibe having you in studio. Make sure you follow him on all his social media handles. Where can we get you?
Yo, you can get me on Instagram at motivation_. You can get me on TikTok at mutimusa_. You can go on my YouTube at Mutimusa Official. Check the release of Afro Synthesis. The podcast is coming out next week as well, where there's going to be episodes each week, and you're going to be checking that while the challenge is happening. We tour in East Africa. I'm performing in Nairobi end of the month. If you're in Kenya and you're listening to this, I'm going to be in Nairobi Rift Club 30th of January. Check me out. Everyone in Buja, yo, if you rocking with it enough, bruh, I'm gonna pull up to Buja just to give you the vibe, and I'll come and do the dance and make another performance video there, because I see you guys. Wanna be repping everyone in East Africa, giving everyone their flowers. We have to do it. It's our generation.
East Africa to the world.
Come on, East Africa to the world.
Exactly. We're about to listen to Can't Touch by the one and only Muti Musa in studio. Make sure you try that dance challenge. Do not say we didn't tell you. We try to put you on to some great songs, and I keep on letting you know East Africa to the world for a reason. And now you see why. We got some great artists and some great music. Whenever you're ready, the Black DJ, thank you so much for coming through, Muti Musa. Make sure you check out more of his music. It's always a vibe. I'm here to tell you that, don't doubt my taste, okay?